Hi everyone! Thank you all so much for 1000 subscribers. It's really amazing to know that there are so many people who have helped me all this way to reach this milestone, and I really appreciate all of your support. I love you all so much, and let's get into the video. So before I start, I just wanted to clarify that this isn't my real voice. I actually sped it up when I was editing so that I don't have my real voice on video because I don't really like it all that much, and also I don't feel like I want to put my voice in a video yet, but since I figured it would be easier for a Q&A video, I basically decided to just do it with a sped up version of my voice, I guess. So that's why if you've heard my voice in real life before, that's why it might sound a bit more high-pitched and squeaky, and yeah. So the first few questions are from Renee. So the first question is nationality. I live in Australia, so I guess my nationality is Australian. Yeah, there's not too much to say about that. Second question is about you. I'm female, I live in Australia, I like koalas, I like Roblox, and I'm not very interesting. So that's about it. Question 3, what are your likes and dislikes? I like koalas, I really like chocolate, and I love to play Roblox, especially Adopt Me, Royal High, and Bloxburg. I've done a couple of Royal High videos in the past, and I might do more of Bloxburg in the future, but I don't play it that much, which is why you don't see many of those videos on my channel. But if you'd like me to do that, then let me know. I dislike waiting in queues and stuff because I'm just not a very patient person in general, and I also dislike koala haters for obvious reasons. The last question is, when did you start playing? So I made my first Roblox account in 2018, I think, at the end of the year, and I may or may not have forgotten the password to it, so it's still there, except I don't use it anymore, and I kind of just deleted Roblox after that. And in 2019, I got Roblox again, and I made another account, which is the one that I'm using now. That was in July, and I actually started playing Adopt Me, which became my favourite game, a few days later, which means I've been playing it for almost a year and a half now. Thank you so much for sending through your questions. Now on to the next ones. So these questions are from WhiteBlock YT, who asked, firstly, how many friends do you have? I have friends from places besides school and also online friends, but for the sake of it, I'll just say our friendship group at school has usually about 5 to 6 people. And the next question is, have you seen a koala before? Yes, I've seen multiple koalas before because, as I mentioned earlier, I live in Australia, so usually there would be koalas in the zoos and stuff. Number 3, what's your eye colour? My eye colour is dark brown. And she said, honestly, the questions are random instead of personal. I appreciate that because I don't know how much personal information I want to put out there on the internet. The next set of questions, also from WhiteBlock, are 1. What's your favourite colour? My favourite colours are pastel pink and pastel purple, and also silver. The second question has already been answered, and the third is, what Mac are you using? So right now I'm using a MacBook Pro 2019, I think. And originally I got it for school, but I also use it so that I can record and edit my videos. Thank you for your questions. Moving on to the next ones. So the next question is from Emma, who asked, why are your favourite animals koalas? So 1, they're extremely cute, and 2, because when I was younger, my parents used to take my brother and I to the zoo quite a lot, where we would see koalas. I also had quite a collection of koala plushies when I was younger, so I guess I just really liked koalas since then. The next series of questions that I received were from UniHawksick, so thank you for sending through the questions. The first question that she asked was, do you like unicorns or llamas more? So in real life, I know unicorns technically don't exist, but I just think llamas are really cute, so I'd probably say in real life I would like llamas more, but in Adopt Me, I think I like the design of the unicorn more because it's really colourful, and I feel like it's just a bit more visually appealing than the llama. The next question is, have you ever been scammed before? I've only been scammed in Adopt Me maybe twice, and both of those times were just to basically conduct a social experiment. I wanted to give the scammers my not very good pets or items just to see if they were going to scam, and those were always ones that didn't have very much value, or I didn't really need them because I had duplicates, so I just wanted to see if people were going to be good or not, and clearly they weren't. So make sure to always be aware of scammers, because no matter how believable they might sound, people are always going to try and get things without working for them. So just be aware. The next question is, face reveal at how many subs? I haven't put too much thought into this because I know I'm nowhere close to it, but maybe like 500k, 500,000 subscribers. I feel like that's when a lot of people do their face reveal, so that's when I might do mine as well. The next question is, what was your motivation when you didn't want to post? Back when I had like a regular posting schedule, which was once or twice a week. Now I don't have a regular posting schedule because I don't always have time to record, but back then when I didn't want to post, I thought about like how all of you might react to my videos, and I really hope that I've been able to make some of you happier or your day better, or just been able to help you in any way with my videos, and I think that's what motivates me to keep going. The next question is, what does the amethyst mean in your channel name? Also, why are all of your accounts named after jewels? So, the amethyst in my channel name basically represents the birthstone of my birth month, which is February. And also, the second question, if you don't get that, I basically have a few accounts, most of which I don't use. So my main account is 𝕠𝕡𝕟, my alt accounts are AmethystKoala, 𝕠𝕡𝕟, RubyKoala, and SapphireKoala. And they're named like that because it was just easy for me to remember, since my main account's username is a jewel, so that way I'd be able to remember the usernames of all my other accounts because they were also jewels. The next question is, what made you start the channel? Originally, I started my YouTube channel because I did a build which I was really proud of. Obviously, this was when I was kind of new to building, so I wasn't that good at it. I'm still not that good at it, and there are lots of much better builders out there, but I feel like I've improved since then if you go and watch my first few videos. So some of the people who inspired me to actually start building and start a channel included It's Sugar Coffee, Kristen Plays, also I Am Sana, Leah, Ash, and Megan Plays. And I feel like they've really inspired me to keep going because I see how happy they make their viewers, and I really hope that one day I can achieve something like that too and just help some of you. Last question, Minitoon or Nicholas, I'm sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, but I do know who they both are. Minitoon is the creator of Piggy, and Nicholas is the creator of Murder Mystery 2, and I have played both of those games, and my friends have pressured me to play both of those games, but I don't play them a lot. I think they're very good games, I think they're very well made, and I do quite like them, but they're just not my thing. And if I had to pick between the creators, I would just say Minitoon, because I follow him on Twitter and he's just a very nice person, and I do quite like Piggy as well, although the game, you have no idea how much anxiety that game has given me. So those were all of the questions that I received. Once again, thank you all so much for sending through your questions, and thank you all for subscribing to me and giving me all of your support. You have no idea how much I appreciate it, and it just really means the world to me. So thank you once again, and have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye!